My name is Steve. I suffer from depression, a form of treatment designated as treatment-resistant depression. I've suffered from this the majority of my life. I have tried medical, pharmaceutical solutions. I've had courses of ECT. I had a treatment called TMS, transmagnetic stimulation, and none have helped manage my depression. In 2012, I became aware of a treatment for depression called deep brain stimulation, involving a pacemaker-like device put in your chest and electrodes or leads fed up through your neck and two electrodes placed deep into your brain in an area called Brodmann Area 25. This was a clinical trial sponsored by St. Jude Medical. It was a phase 3 double-blind clinical trial, and I agreed to participate and was interviewed and accepted, unfortunately, into the study. The study was called the Brodmann Study, and my surgery was done at Stanford University. This trial was what the FDA now called, at that point called a futility analysis. It was limited to 90 people to show efficacy for the treatment in depression. It had worked in others. This was the first rigorous double-blinded trial. Basically, 2/3 of us who were implanted had the device on, and one person at each site, or a third of the people would not have the device turned on. They had the brain surgery, and then for 6 months you'd have a monthly meeting and the device would be adjusted to optimize for your particular needs regarding depression. I was one of 3 at Stanford. I developed pain. I was implanted this November 30th, 2012, and starting in March of 2013 is when I first started complaining about severe head pain. I was only 3 months into the study, and I had realized early on that I was actually on, and subsequently when we were unblinded, as a part of trying to find out why I was having pain, we found out I had been on for the entire 6 months. Subsequent to this, I stayed in the trial. It was supposed to last till 1 year, and then going to be a 4-year follow-up, and then you would get adjusted once every 6 months. And I never had a resolution of the pain, and I had asked to be unblinded, and I asked to be turned off so we could determine if electrical stimulation was actually causing the pain issue. At 6 months, we were given the ability to actually turn ourselves off with a controller, and it was determined that actually turning it off did not affect my pain level in my head. At that point, I had started to develop a scar tube that was running from my ear, where there was a connector, and these twin leads come down to this chest thing. It's the size of 2 Ronson lighters, and you could see the lead, and I could press here and it would pull by my ear. That was a phenomenon called bowstringing, where the body attacks everything that's foreign and encapsulates the scar tissue. In October, the Stanford Pain Clinic determined that this lead was running through the mastoid notch and putting pressure on my accessory nerve and my lower occipital nerve. the accessory nerve damage has led to atrophy of my right shoulder, arm, and limited movement in my right arm. I can do things, but I have no strength. I am right-handed. I was explanted December 3rd, 2013, and actually December 4th. December 3rd, we got notification that the FDA had canceled the trial due to much poorer results than had been hoped for. And the next day, December 4th, I was explanted. And subsequent to that, my pain has been worse. There's scar tissue in my chest, which we've seen through ultrasound, and we've been trying to get that relieved. I still have incredible head pain, and I have no pain management. I appear to be allergic to opiates, and unfortunately, I have not had a neurological exam or a further evaluation of the nerve issues since my October visit to the pain clinic, where they determined through an occipital nerve block that the nerve pain from the occipital part was due to the occipital nerve. At this point, Stanford is not providing support or medical care, even though it clearly states in the consent agreement that if you're damaged or suffer an illness due to this study, you will not be responsible for any costs, and care and support will be provided for you. That has not been forthcoming. I've tried to go outside of Stanford to UCSF. I got a second opinion from the neurosurgeon there, and he confirmed, yes, this bowstringing was an issue and was most likely pressing on the nerves, the accessory and the spinal accessory nerve. Unfortunately, subsequent to that, he has declined to see me. I've been seen at UC Davis, and bless their heart, Dr. Tanji has tried valiantly to work on some of this scar tissue, but I've been unable to get referrals to the pain clinic and accepted. The protocol director at Stanford tried to get a referral to UCSF to the neuropathy department, because most likely this is occipital neuropathy causing this head pain, and they declined to see me. Subsequent to this, we determined last week that for whatever reasons, my medical records coming from Stanford now have a under risk management tag, which means that the legal department is involved, and it's not a medical issue as far as they're concerned, it's legal. And I have not been able to be seen by anybody at Stanford since January, when I saw the neurosurgeon, the neurologist who originally had figured out some of this nerve damage issue. But at this point, I am 14 months since original surgery. 13 months since I first complained of head pain in March of 2013, and this has been 4 months of worse pain, a number 10 on a scale daily. And I've been unable to get medical care outside of the study, through Stanford. UCSF has declined to see me. I've had trouble at UC Davis trying to get referrals, and pain clinic declined to see me. I even went back to Emory University to see the author of the article on bowstringing, this scar tissue formation. Very nicely explained how it forms. The body attacks all this foreign matter and puts scar tissue, and it starts to constrict. And that's what creates this tension on the lead. This is something that it's written about and it's been known about, and it's more common in this DBS device with 2 leads going up one side of the brain. And DBS is also used and is approved for Parkinson's, Tourette's, and dystonia. And at this point, I'm a collateral damage of this study. There's 90 of us that were implanted in North America. To my knowledge, most are all being helped by their respective medical centers. I'm the only one that I know of that's been explanted. Others that have had DBS have developed pain issues, and one of them has developed occipital neuropathy as a result of the DBS leads. And at this point, as a participant in a medical device trial involving experimental brain surgery, I'm wondering where the patient protections were to protect the health and safety of those of us who volunteer to do incredibly risky surgery that there are known complications. I tried filing a complaint with the FDA, and I was told I have to file a formal Freedom of Information Act to find out what was the resolution of the study and the complaint, because I was complaining about the lack of patient protection. There is no oversight that I am aware of that's transparent on patient protection. The Institutional Review Board at Stanford was a contact person for problems with the study. I have not been in communication with them since February. They more or less said, well, you signed the agreement, we have you on videotape. And when I talked to one of the women there and I mentioned that there are more oversight of animal studies in device trials, she laughed. And I am not interested in taking on Stanford legally. I have no rights as a legal person, apparently, especially in the state of California. But I'm reaching out, trying to ask for help. I've tried every avenue to get help, and yet I still have pain. And where was the patient protection for people involved in a medical device trial that involves brain surgery? I can't believe that it isn't transparent. I please ask of you to pass this video on to others. Like I said, if nothing else is accomplished by this, there needs to be much more rigorous oversight in FDA medical device trials. The FDA tries, but there's a tremendous amount of corporate pressure to get drugs approved and devices approved. And this shouldn't be a thing that when somebody is injured in a study or has a problem in a study, that they have to fight for medical care, medical help, medical support. And my heart goes out to all of the others who are in the study, because none of them really know what's happening. St. Jude Medical canceled the study. Are they going to help these people? I believe the medical institutions are helping them, and that's great. I really appreciate that. But this is too important an issue to not have some resolution. One, if this is this pioneering thing for depression, it may work and it shows a lot of promise. Don't let this study stop it going forward, you know, at least the research. But how my situation was handled and the lack of support and the lack of oversight for patient protection, that shouldn't happen to anybody. So please reach out to others and support those with depression. It's a nasty disease. It's a silent disease. It's a disease that nobody really wants to hear about, and it's the hardest to fight. Thank you. I appreciate your time.